Before the return of Lilith, and before the Diablo 4 campaign takes place, another story must be told. The story of Symon. In the heart of Hawezar's swamps stands a modest hovel, the town of Zarbinzet. This muddy sanctuary is home to curator Symon. Like a moth drawn to the flame, he is deeply enticed by the mysteries of Sanctuary. Under the mentorship of Father Dimas, Symon relentlessly pursues enlightenment, hoping to unravel the enigmas of Sanctuary and its origins while also being invested with the care of the parish and its inhabitants. On an ordinary day in Zarbinzet, a stranger wanders in. This mysterious figure, the swordsman, introduces himself as a seeker of knowledge named Elias.
A man has come to our small town. Many people pass through, but there is something different about this one. Something enigmatic. Father Dimas has warned me against him, but the swordsman has invited me to journey with him. There are places filled with knowledge, he says. Well, I mean to find them. We will make camp at the decaying farmstead, east of here.
The next day, Symon and Elias set forth, leaving behind the familiar outlines of the town. With a quiet resolve, they stride eastward across the fields of Hawezar. Their destination for the night, a quiet, long-abandoned farmstead, materializes out of the dust of the evening. As the night descends, the silence of the deserted farmstead is broken by the low murmur of their shared conversation. The mysteries of Sanctuary, hidden like precious gems in the rough, take center stage in their dialogue.
My companion seems harsh to many, but beneath his bluster and his sword lies a scholar, as hungry for knowledge as I am. He knows things I never thought to seek out, and he is generous. Some scholars jealously guard all the things they know. Not him. I have asked that we pass by the statue of revered Tybalt, and though I can see he chafes at such a thing, he has granted my request.
And so, with their footsteps imprinted in the mud of Hawezar, the journey continues, bringing them closer to the secrets they seek. At the foot of the statue of Tybalt, Symon and Elias meet three pilgrims of the Zacharbrum faith. United in shared belief, they agree to camp together for the night. As the flickering fire casts shadows on their faces, they exchange stories, painting the air with their words. Symon, full of eager enthusiasm, unveils their quest for hidden truth. The pilgrims, however, are disturbed, not by Symon's devout nature, but by Elias's sharp demeanor. His intimidating presence, a stark contrast to the mild-mannered Symon, troubles the pilgrims. Night falls heavy upon them, its curtain veiling the world in an inky black. Elias tosses and turns in his sleep, tormented by nightmares. Disturbing murmurs escape his lips, whispers of demons, the downfall of Sanctuary, and echoes of hell. When questioned by the pilgrims, Elias erupts in anger, hurling curses at the pilgrims. Their concern only grows, but Symon remains resolute, asking them to join their quest. They politely decline. In the days that follow the departure of Symon and Elias, the pilgrims are assaulted by terrifying visions, threatening to unravel their sanity. Fear gives way to a creeping madness, stuck in a loop of constant fatigue. They cannot find solace in rest, so they pray for help, and scream their pain into the wind.
They were friendly with one another, but the swordsman hated outsiders. He muttered while he slept, awful things, doom and the end and demons. I asked him about it. I shall never forget his face. Terrible. Demonic.
In the wetlands to the east, Symon and Elias set up camp. A brief errand pulls Symon away, leaving Elias alone. It is during this absence that a Priest of Rathma, a necromancer, appears in their encampment. The necromancer, well versed in mystical arts, mocks Elias's ridiculous disguise. Elias then reveals his true form. Elias is no traveling swordsman. He is a member of the Triune, dedicated to Lilith, the mother of hatred. The necromancer warns Elias of the dire consequences of meddling with powers beyond mortal understanding, hinting at what Elias' goal might be. Undeterred, Elias rebukes about Rathma's neutrality, arguing his apathy for Sanctuary's fate in the eternal conflict. In his twisted worldview, Elias perceives Lilith's resurrection as Sanctuary's only hope for salvation from the eternal conflict. This necromancer was sent by Rathma himself to stop Elias's actions before it was too late. He foresaw the disruption Elias could cause in the grand balance of Sanctuary, potentially leading to chaos. However, before the necromancer can act to prevent the foreseen catastrophe, Elias strikes him down mercilessly, discarding his mortal guise and resuming his swordsman persona, just as Symon returns. Symon's return to the site of the deceased necromancer sparks fear and shock in him. Elias, quick to adapt, weaves a tale of an assassin lurking in the shadows, intent on halting their quest. Insisting that they press on to the town of Backwater, he promises a protective entourage of sellsword awaits, preparing them for the perilous next leg of their journey. After days of trekking across diverse landscapes, Symon and Elias reach the small town of Backwater, seated by the shore. Amid the hustle of the coastal town, they refill their provisions and make a crucial addition to their party: 3 mercenaries. Gelwa, a formidable warrior, Fionn, the secretive rogue, and Sev, a seemingly average fighter with an undeniable affinity for spirits. There exists a tension, almost tangible, between Symon and the newcomers who dismiss his priestly pursuits and his passive role in their journey. Yet, Symon endures, his thirst for wisdom overriding any petty disagreements. Following a night in Backwater, the sun's first light sees them departing, their eyes now set on Esret, a forsaken town lying south of the Fethis wetlands. As they inch closer to their destination, their sleep becomes a battlefield of nightmares. Visions of blood raining from the heavens, serpents writhing, and infinite flames torment them. The intensity of these nightmares, disturbing as they are, seem to repeat the ominous prophecy of Rathma, hinting at potential turmoil in Sanctuary's near future. Could this be a foreboding of what's to come? Elias's reaction to their shared nightmares is one of anger. Are these nightmares not of his making? As the days pass, the dreams only intensify. Sev, driven to insomnia by these nightmares, bears witness to Elias's transformation into his terrifying pale true form one night. The shock drives her to abandon the party in fear, disappearing into the night, never to come back. The desolate town of Esret greets them with silence and abandonment. Upon arrival, Elias directs the party to a chapel, its once sacred floors now the target of their excavation. Despite the torment of their dreams, each member of the group is guided by personal motivations. Symon seeks holy knowledge, the mercenaries the glitter of gold, while Elias conceals his darker intentions beneath his swordsman facade. They uncover traces of a forgotten era buried beneath the chapel. As the dust of history swirls around them, a chilling realization strikes. Their arrival has awakened a sleeping darkness. Ghouls surge from the crevices, attacking the surprised group. Forced deeper into the caverns, the crew retaliates fiercely. Elias aids Symon, who has been wounded in the onslaught, as they uncover the object of their search, a sealed chamber. In the heart of this chaotic battle, the responsibility falls on Symon to unlock the chamber, as Elias fends off the demon horde. Upon examining the ancient engravings on the chamber's entrance, Symon comprehends that the seal demands a blood offering. He beckons his comrades, urging them to spill their blood on the etched symbols. Upon this shared sacrifice, the stone door of the chamber grudgingly begins to rise. As the 3 companions scramble within the chamber, their frantic breaths reverberate on the stone walls. Meanwhile, Elias, their cryptic guide and leader, is left on the other side, locked in a life or death struggle against a seemingly unending horde of hellish ghouls. Without a second thought, Gelwa severs the chains holding the door open. The heavy stone door slams shut with a resounding finality, cutting their connection with Elias. The reality of their situation settles like a lead weight in Symon's heart, filling it with shock and despair. The loss of Elias echoes through the cavernous space, adding to the palpable fear and uncertainty for Symon. Inside the sealed chamber, the air grows thick with tension. Gelwa and Fionn grow restless. Their lust for gold, which had initially drawn them into this godforsaken quest, now feeds their rising hostility. Symon, caught in their piercing gaze, is forced to decipher the glyphs etched intricately into the stone pillars of the chamber. This chamber, once a symbol of hope for Symon's quest for knowledge, now feels more like a tomb. Poring over the ancient symbols, Symon's hand trembles as he begins to translate. The room falls deadly silent as he narrates the grim meaning behind the glyphs. By 3 they come. By 3 thy way opens. By the blood of the willing, hail the Creator. Hail the daughter of hatred. Symon's voice falters as he reads the last line. The pursuit of knowledge has led them astray towards an ancient summoning ritual instead. The words describe a ritualistic chant intended to summon a demonic entity of incredible power from the void. One sanctuary hasn't seen in hundreds of years. The daughter of hatred herself. Lilith. A chilling fear overtakes Symon, making his blood run cold. The realization of the gravity of their actions hits him like a ton of bricks. They had not unlocked a treasure trove of ancient wisdom and gold as they had expected. Instead, they had stumbled on forbidden secrets to invite something far more sinister to enter their world. In their blind pursuit of their desires, they had stepped into unknown territory, of which would shape the fate of Sanctuary forever. The unsettling realization of the chamber's purpose shrouds them in a cloak of fear as Symon murmurs his hypotheses of what the chamber represents. A temple, or a tomb. As the words ring into the oppressive silence, a voice disrupts the unsettling calm. It's a gate. The declaration rattles them to their core. Moments later, Fionn is whisked away. The sounds of struggle mix with the blood spatters across the chamber's ancient stone, revealing Fionn's contorted body grotesquely suspended in midair. From the shadows emerges a spectre, unrecognizable yet terrifyingly familiar. Elias. Despite a gruesome wound marking his face, he seems unfazed. One by one, Fionn, then Gelwa meet their nightmarish end, their faces branded with unholy seals as they are hurled into darkness. In this cataclysm of horror, Symon, the lone survivor, chants desperate prayers, his voice quivering with fear and disbelief. Symon's plea to Akarat for salvation fades away in the hollow chamber. Elias, no longer a fellow traveler but a harbinger of darkness, responds. By 3 they come. By 3 thy way opens. By the blood of the willing, we call thee home. The power of Elias does not manifest violently but softly, compelling Symon against his will. His gaze meets Elias, pleading for divine intervention to shield him from the impending doom. There is no light here. You came to the darkness, or knowledge. All the knowledge you seek is here, he says. Finally, Symon surrenders to the inevitable. By 3 they come. By 3 thy way opens. By the blood of the willing, we call thee home. As the chant ends, the chamber vibrates with a sinister energy. Symon's blood merges with his fallen comrades, forming a dark sigil, an invitation for something monstrous. What follows is a tempest of images, a tornado of forbidden knowledge that Symon is forced to endure. The torrent of revelation rips through him, a grotesque price for his pursuit. His last words reverberate through the chamber. Hail the daughter of hatred, creator of sanctuary. Hail Lilith. With the utterance, the light in his eyes dim, leaving his body in the silent chamber, marking the end of an ill-fated journey into the unknown. Lilith is now reborn. Her arrival into Sanctuary is met by Elias, now the lone figure in the chamber, his disguise as the swordsman long discarded. In complete reverence before the monstrous form of Lilith, his tone suggests a faith that borders on fanaticism, as if Lilith's arrival signals not destruction, but salvation. The truth of Symon's fate becomes painfully clear. He was not just a bystander in this dark spectacle, but a key piece in Elias's nefarious puzzle. His pursuit of knowledge, twisted and exploited by Elias, ultimately led to his demise and to the return of Lilith to Sanctuary. His death is a grim indication of the dangers of unchecked curiosity and manipulation. If you want to relive this chilling tale yourself, you can do so in Diablo 4 through Symon's questline. The journey begins with the To Walk a Dark Path quest, located in the town of Zarbinzet, within the Hawezar region. Embarking on this questline will plunge you into the heart of this unsettling tale, shedding light on Symon's journey and the machinations of Elias. Completing it will reward you with the one-eyed swordsman's blade, a significant artifact from this story, inscribed with the haunting phrase, "By the blood of the willing, we call her home." Let's pause right here and let me give you a spoiler warning, as the following information is going to spoil Act 1 of Diablo 4. You've been warned. As we emerge from the cryptic depths of this tale, we are left with a heavy heart for Symon. His path is a warning of the perils hidden in the quest for forbidden truth. Symon's tale is an indication about the dangers of misplaced trust and blind ambition. It parallels the risks tied to challenging established beliefs, especially when every sign suggests caution. However, amidst the dread of his story, a lingering question arises. What sparked these horrifying nightmares that the group were afflicted with? My thoughts lean towards Rathma, who might have been dispatching warnings against Lilith's resurrection through these nightmarish visions. The serpent, a recognized emblem of Rathma, a symbol of Tragul, appears to play a crucial role in this puzzle. Yet, Rathma, when challenged by his father during Act 1 of Diablo 4, confesses to possessing the ability to foresee future events, including his own death. So why would he try to thwart Lilith's resurrection? Why consign an assassin to eliminate Elias rather than directly intervening himself? Given Rathma's immense Nephilim powers and the urgent necessity to prevent Elias's plan, wouldn't he take the initiative himself? What do you think? Let me know in the comments and let's talk about it. And so, Symon's pursuit of knowledge became the final note in the symphony of Lilith's resurrection. An unsuspecting scholar turned key to the gates of chaos, reminding us all that in the quest for enlightenment, one must always be wary of the shadows that lurk within the unknown.